All right. So basically what I want to do on this call is like shift some principles that like I'm going through in my own journey with my own brand, with my own business. And you know, fixing really like the big problems of what's going to make you have a successful coaching business in 2025 and beyond. Right. Because like the number one thing right now, it's harder than ever to be able to get people to buy from you. Right. Everyone says like there's a trust recession, and that's true because there's all these like coaches out there. You know, one, the market is oversaturated, right? Everyone in their freaking mom is trying to be a coach. Number two, there's a lot of crappy coaches out there. Number three, there's a lot of scammers out there and coaches that have bad products and bad services. And then there's a lot of the fake business gurus and gurus in general that like sell you something that's not really valuable. And it gets you to one thing, but it doesn't really teach you the principles of like really having a successful coaching business and actually how to do it. So like, I really want to teach you the principles because a lot of people in the industry right now, like business is a lot of tactics and a lot of strategy, but it's all, if you don't have a good foundation, right, of like the principle, like if your house is built on sand, it's going to sink eventually, right? But if you have a firm foundation, right, like it says in the Bible, and you build on a firm foundation, you're gonna be all right. So what I see a lot of coaches and like business coaches and coaches in general, you know, since like I've been in the coaching industry since 2018, to 2025, is a lot of people, dude, are teaching still like tactics and strategies are great, but I don't know what I was trying to spell that, but whatever. Strategies are great, but the only problem is that tactics and strategies change every 6 to 12 months, right? The problem with the tactics and strategies is they work for a while and then they don't work anymore, okay? And a lot of people in their programs and everything like that are teaching tactics and strategies, but they're not teaching actual foundational principles and everything like that, okay? So I want to teach you the foundations of really what's going to make you successful forever, okay? Because you can always change and use tactics like ads, DMing, content, booking calls, getting followers, messages, sales, clients, all that kind of stuff, right? So this is kind of like the back end of the system, but it's not the entire system, right? This is kind of like, this is what we're trying to do. Obviously, we're trying to get followers. We're trying to message people. We're trying to book calls. We're trying to get sales, and we're trying to get clients, right? But the only problem of this, it's the back end of the system without the actual foundation, okay? We're focused on getting metrics, but if we don't focus on customer psychology and buyer intent, you're not really going to be able to fix these things, right? Like, like let's say I related the back end metric of fat loss, right? My goal is fat loss, right? But what do you have to do to be able to create fat loss to be able to happen? You have to create a calorie deficit. You have to get the right calories. You have to break down the right macros. You have to burn a certain amount of calories, and then you get the fat loss, right? But if you're just trying to do followers, messages, book calls, sales, and everything like that, there's no foundation we have to do the thing before that. Okay. So this is important, but a lot of people are teaching old, outdated, not useful copy and paste strategies by every business guru. And it's all strategy and tactics, but there's no marketing and sales principles. Okay. Numbers, how many followers you get, how many messages you're getting, how many book calls you're getting, how many sales you're getting, how many clients you're getting. All of those KPIs are reflective on your customers' beliefs about you, your offer, and your product. Is that hitting home?
Yeah.
Are you getting where I'm going with this? Like you can talk and you can I want you to understand and everything like that.
No, I'm following you so far.
Okay. So what I'm saying is all this stuff matters, and this is what we're trying to get, but we have to focus on our customers' buying psychology and buying intent of why they're going to follow you, message you, book a call, pay you money so they can become your client. Is that making sense?
Right.
Because all of this is the compound of the effect. Does that make sense?
So are you almost saying that like these points that you're saying to let the followers messages, book calls, sales, and clients, like you're almost making like content based on these things?
No.
No. Okay.
I'm saying your customers only do these things when you do the compound of the effect. This is an effect. Right? What comes before them following you?
Like you give them value.
Okay. Right? What is value?
I mean, that's relative to someone's problem.
Right? So you solve a problem with and give trust and give value, which gets them to be able to follow you, right?
Right.
So is the follower an effect of what you did?
Right.
So what psychology did you do to get a follower, right? You give value, you fix problems and all that kind of stuff, right? Okay. So if you don't do that, are people going to message you? Are people going to trust you to book a call? Because the real reason why someone books a call is because of what? They know you can help them. And they know about your offer. They know about, what you kind of do, who you are. And then why do they buy from you?
Because they believe you can do it.
Yep. And they trust you, right? And then they become a client, you get them the results and so on and so forth. So what I'm saying is all this stuff matters. Data matters. It's like calories, macros, training, working out, doing his steps, all that kind of stuff. But if the data isn't plugged into these things in the foundation of doing those things, anyone can do steps, anyone can work out, anyone can eat clean. But like, why are people still fat, right? Is because they don't know the psychology around what they're actually doing. That's what I'm trying to get to. Okay. So let's move on. Okay. So how do we fix this? Okay. So how we fix it is people buy based off their beliefs and justify with their logic later. Okay. Influencing someone's beliefs is easier than justifying them to be able to buy. Okay. If their beliefs line up with what you offer, they're going to buy. All sales are emotional first and logical later. Is this hitting home?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me just kind of relate it, right? So if people buy based off your beliefs and justify with logic later, if you were trying to sell someone a fat loss program or your coaching program, and they didn't believe anyone has ever lose fat or could lose fat and do that, would you be able to sell them something if they didn't believe it?
No.
Okay. If you were going to sell someone a coaching program to get these results, like let's say get in shape, get jacked, look like Tyler or Augustine, all that kind of stuff, right? That's what you're selling, right? Let's say you didn't look the way you did and you were fat. You've never helped anyone before. And you're trying to sell someone a program and coaching to get in shape, but you're not in shape and you haven't gotten anyone in shape. Would they buy it?
Yeah, it'd be extremely hard. You're probably a great salesman if you do.
Exactly, right? They wouldn't buy it.
Yeah.
Because, dude, the belief that they have, they're like, dude, you're fat. What, you're trying to sell me to get in shape, but you're not in shape? They're like, dude, I don't believe in you. And then the second thing is, if you had no proof of that, you could get you could get yourself results and you could get other people results, would they buy your stuff?
Yeah, probably not.
No. Okay. So if you influence their belief system, okay, it's easier to sell them and get them to buy than it is to justify about why they think they can't lose fat, why they can't build muscle, why they have bad genetics, all that kind of stuff. If you just change their beliefs about fat loss, building muscle, that it's not hard, that it's easy, that everyone can do it, that you've done it and all that kind of stuff, do you think it's going to be better for them to be able to change the belief of why they're not buying and change the belief that you can get the results for them because you've done it. You've done it for other people. And you could get them to believe that you could do it for them. How much easier would it be for you to be able to sell something if you could just change those three beliefs?
Right. Easy.
Right? Then they would be like, okay, yeah, I'm going to take that opportunity. Right? So if you change their beliefs, that's what I'm getting into, and line that up with what you offer, they're going to buy. Because the reason why people don't buy is they don't believe, one, you could get them results, two, you've done it for other people, or three, that your stuff actually works. Okay. So we need to hit it emotionally. We need to change their emotions associated with these things to be able to get them to be able to sell, because then people will justify with the logic later. Okay. I want to show you how I'm doing this with my stuff. And then I'm going to show you how, if we focus on these things and we incorporate it in your marketing, in your coaching program, and in your branding, you're going to, by default, in your content and in your YouTube and everything that I'm doing right now, I'm going to be able to change your beliefs about why your coaching isn't selling, why it's going to sell, and why people are going to buy from you more and pay you more money. Okay. I'm calling this the belief shifting funnel. Okay. Now, to make this work, to get someone to pay you money, right? That's our goal. And get them to become a client so we can get them results, right? Okay. There's three things that we need to change for them to be able to buy from this, to get them to become a client. Right? Number one, we have to change the first belief. Okay. We have to change the belief that they have. And this is an old, outdated way that's not working. Okay. We have to change belief number 2. We have to give them a new, relevant, and easier way. And then number 3, we have to literally make them believe that our product, service, and offer is the way that's going to get them to the results that they want. Is that making sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, old, outdated belief. Let's go over that. So, like, okay, so you guys are in the same market in fitness and everything like that, right? What is an old? Let's do a thinking process, okay? Because I want your offer to be fixed and your program. I want this to be so. There's 3 things that we're going to do on this call. Do these things for your marketing, your branding and everything, and you're going to know exactly how to be able to do this. And we're going to incorporate in your YouTube, your marketing process, all that kind of stuff. Okay. We have to reiterate this over and over again to get people believe, because that's the only reason why they're going to buy. Right. So what's an old, outdated way that's not currently working right now? So if someone came to you, what is the consensus in a marketplace right now of why people think they can't get in shape?
Why they think they can't get in shape.
Dude, why are they not getting results right now?
I mean, they don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to actually be in a calorie deficit. They don't train intense enough or how to track their training.
Okay. That's the byproduct of them not knowing what to do. But what have they tried before that people believe why it's not working for them?
Maybe like someone tried like a certain diet, like a paleo diet.
Exactly. There we go. We're getting somewhere. Okay. What diet?
Let's just say carnivore.
Okay. So that's where you're throwing rocks. Okay. Carnivore. Okay. Would you say that's not working, outdated, or old?
Not working.
Okay. So basically, the belief is that they've tried carnivore, right? Maybe they've tried fasting. Okay. Maybe they've tried keto. Maybe they've tried, what's another one? What's another one? What's like the biggest thing right now in, like, have you talked to someone and been like, why aren't your fitness clients getting results? What's the number one thing that they're like, if you could go over, like, this is market research, right? What's the number one thing with your clients right now if they came to the call of like what they've tried before and everything like that?
They all tried some type of like juice cleanse or some shit like that.
Okay.
Some juice cleanse, how many teas. I feel like most people just suck at diet and then they're always trying some random type of diet.
Right? So it's unsustainable and everything like that, right?
Sure.
Like people, okay, so like basically that would be like, dude, BS dieting approaches. Okay, so like the main thing is like the market has tried old, outdated, not working things. So like have you tried keto, fasting, carnivore, hardcore diets, all that kind of stuff, and they're not working, all that kind of stuff, right? So like that's like the main thing that we're doing. So like right now, like what I'm trying to get you to do is I'm trying to get you to understand how to confirm fears, frustrations, and suspicions of your market, because we're trying to emotionally target them of why the past things that they've tried. Okay, so like we're gonna go into this more, but I need to show you how to break this down. Okay, so like right now, like what is the fear, frustrations, and suspicions that your ideal customer is dealing with right now? So here's what I came up with, right? So in my market, it's harder. I believe, like right now, for people, why they're not growing their business, it's getting harder to get clients because the market is saturated with too many coaches. The coaching industry and economy is changing. People aren't buying like they used to, and coaches are burnt out, struggling to get clients with low profit margins, no recurring revenue, and struggling to survive in business. Is that making sense?
Mm-hmm.
That's the confirmation bias of the fear, frustrations, and suspicions that my ideal client and market has right now. That's the belief that they have right now, right? Let's tie that into you. What belief, fear, and frustration? We need to figure out what your ideal client has with this, okay? The second thing that we need to do is we need to tie in the hope and excitement, okay? Belief number 2, we need to get a hope and excitement of doing this, okay? So there's a better way to get clients online that will have higher ticket clients ready to pay you 10x more for your coaching. This will get you higher profit margins, less time working, and making more recurring revenue in your business. Okay? That's the hope and excitement that they want to accomplish. And then number 3, the emotions that we're targeting is clarifying certainty. Okay? That's belief number 3. Okay? We need to shift their belief to give them clarity and certainty. And we do this with our mechanism. Okay? That is what they need to do, their new mechanism. Okay? So right here, this is what I'm trying to basically get people to do. Okay? This is my new unique mechanism. Funneling, belief shifting funnel, YouTube, personal branding, high ticket, and one-on-one coaching. And then this will get people to buy from us and all that kind of stuff. Okay. Any questions about that?
That's clear.
Okay. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to figure out your old outdated way, give them a new relevant and easier way, and then have them have a clear product format in our coaching offer. And this will lead to sales and clients. Okay. So what that means is, let's go. Okay. So let me break down. Okay, that's not what I wanted to show. Okay. So right here, dude. This is the value ladder. Okay. Shit, sorry. Okay, do you see this?
Yeah.
Okay. So what we have to do is we have to answer and shift these beliefs to get people to be able to buy from us. Okay. We literally have to shift each one of these beliefs to get them to be able to take an action and create reciprocity to be able to work with us or become a lead or become a customer and become a client. Okay. This is when the principle starts to come in. Okay. Why I call this as a value ladder is because we have to solve each one of these problems to be able to get someone to psychologically receive value from us to be able to get ready to buy from us. Okay. So number 1 is pain, desire, value, new mechanism, call to action to get them as a client, lead, all that kind of stuff. Okay. So I want you to think about this as a principle. Okay. you have to be able to do all these things in your marketing and your sales process to be able to get one thing from someone. Reciprocity. Do you guys know? I don't want to assume, but do you guys understand what reciprocity is?
Yeah.
What is reciprocity?
So it's like you doing something for someone and it's like not like you expected, but they kind of feel like the need to do something back for you.
Yeah, obligated. So basically the clear definition of reciprocity on when you Google it, it's basically the practice of exchanging things with others for mutual benefit, especially for mutual benefit. So basically, reciprocity is a simple form, refers to a mutual exchange or influence. Okay. I want that to sink in for a minute. Okay. When you create reciprocity, you create value for other people. Okay. Value. If people get value from you, you fill a goodwill bank account with reciprocity. Okay. So the more value that you give, the more reciprocity you build, right?
Right.
So the more that the real value that you give someone, the more that they will trust you, like you, know you, follow you, grow with you, all that kind of stuff. And then eventually what? When the reciprocity becomes so much for another person, they will exchange money with you to be able to take that next step. Okay. The more reciprocity that we build with non-buyers will eventually turn into customers, which will turn into what?
Money.
Sales. That was I need to do this. Okay. So let me just put this simply right now. Can we assume if we're all not getting enough customers right now, what do we need to fix?
We need to solve more problems.
Yeah, we need to create more reciprocity, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if we need to solve more problems, what do we need to do?
I mean, put yourself out there to solve problems.
Provide more value. I mean, yeah, you have to put yourself out there, dude. But like, I'm just talking about like a principle, like a principle way to be able to do this, because it's a, I don't know if you see this or it's how my brain works, but I'm just trying to get you the steps that my perception of like the secret of like to getting people to do this is you have to create. I should have put this right here. Value creates reciprocity, creates money, creates buyers, in that order. Okay. So if this is not working, we're not getting sales and we're not getting customers, it's because we're not creating enough reciprocity, because we're not giving enough value. Simply. Is that cool? Do you understand that?
Yeah.
So the goal that I'm trying to get past to you, the goal that I'm doing, what am I doing right now? And what do I do every single, like that we're working together, or that I live, or that I show up on this call, all that kind of stuff? What am I doing?
Providing value.
Right? And what does that do for you? Provides reciprocity. And then what does that do for you? Has a sustainable business. You learn, you grow, so you could be able to do the same. Right? So the first thing that we need to do in the value ladder, the first problem is we need to fix pain. Okay. And then we need to create the desire of what they actually want to get to. And then we need to be able to connect that to value in a new way of doing things to get people to take call to actions to work with us. Okay. So This is the marketing principle. Okay. If our process does not fix pain, is not giving people to their desire, which is the results that they want. Okay. And if they're not getting value from the problems that we're trying to solve for them, and the value that they're getting from our content or our videos is not actually a perceived value that they're getting, that's why you're not getting any clients. Or money. Is that making sense?
Yep.
Okay. Are the pain and the desire and the results that we're trying to get to have to be so valuable, dude, that we get a psychological response that people start trusting us and believing that our way is the only way that's going to get them to the destination that they want to get to. Is that hitting home?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say the pain that they're in is obviously relating this to fitness is fat. They want to get a six pack. We're just going super simple here. Okay. Okay. And the value that we're giving them is fixing these problems, but it's has to be like actually good. Like it has to be like, bro, I literally like this video taught me something. Dude, I want you to understand that it's not information, bro. Okay. People think value is just information. I'm not giving you information right now. If I was going to give you information, I would just be like, yo, dude, post on Instagram, talk about this, start talking to people and do that. I'm trying to give you the actual perceived value that's going to fix your business forever. Like, this is like the deep stuff. Like this, my goal of this training is to not just give tactics, it's to give so much information and value that it shifts your beliefs, bro. Like it has on mine. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you,
No,
do you
it's
understand?
almost like how you're delivering it as well, on top of like what you're saying.
Dude, I'm not just giving you tactics, bro. I'm literally trying to change your beliefs right now. If this changes for you, you will literally be in my thought process and you will literally be able to do what I'm doing right now and implementing and how I'm doing everything.
Yeah.
I'm literally changing the belief that I have right now is not like the belief that I used to have or that other people have taught you. I'm literally changing your beliefs right now on like the way that you think about business and the way that you think about content and the way that you think about your business and the way that you think about what you're doing. I'm literally giving you just the key secrets. If you just do these things, you will be successful. Even if no one literally, even if you don't get 100,000 followers that people are not doing. Is that making sense?
Yeah.
This is why people struggle to get sales. This is why people struggle to get people to buy from them. This is why people will post online and have 1 million followers, but make no money, or they don't even have a product. It's because they don't know how to do any of this. Okay. Going back to the value, it's not information, bro. You could go to ChatGPT and figure out how to create a calorie deficit right now. I'll literally go to ChatGPT.
All right.
Okay. You could like AI will literally take you out of business. And that's why coaches are suffering. Information is not what people need, or they would already not be fat, or you would not be here to grow your business. AI cannot teach you this. Okay. AI can teach you data and give you information, but it can't change your beliefs, bro. It can't give you the principles that you need and change and rewire your thoughts and everything like that. Only you, psychology, only you can do that, bro. People don't buy information, bro. What do they buy?
Beliefs, feelings.
Exactly. Transformation, dude. So if you focus instead of information, you focus on belief and transformation, what will you do psychology wise?
Like for them,
What?
like what would I do for them?
Of course, bro. Everything that you do is trying to do for the other person.
Yeah, I mean, it'll definitely make them believe that my way is like the way I'll finally fix the problem.
Exactly. That's the only thing that we're trying to disconnect. I want you to shift your belief right now on content. Disconnect that content has to be liked, engaged with, pretty, like highly edited and all that kind of stuff. And that you have to have a lot of followers. Okay. I want you to disconnect from that. Okay. What are all those things?
Metrics.
Metrics, right? Surface level, right? If you had all those things and someone didn't buy from you, does it even matter?
Nope.
Okay, now I want to come over to the other side. Okay. Imagine if you just thought as content and the videos and the things that you make, that you were just literally trying to change someone's psychology on their beliefs to get them on something that you believe so they buy from you. And the better that you get at changing their beliefs on what they perceive that they think they should know, like what I'm doing to you right now, and what they actually should know to be able to get them to take the action, what you want them to do to buy from you. Imagine if you just changed that and you thought about that. Because if I posted this video right now, okay, and I didn't edit it, I didn't make it all sexy, I didn't do anything, and I wanted to get 100,000 views, probably wouldn't happen. It'd probably get less than 1,000 views if I posted it on YouTube. Does that matter? Am I going for views, or am I going to change people's beliefs and get customers? Which one?
Customers.
That's the strategy, dude. Because I'm not just trying to get people to like and engage with my stuff. I'm trying to get them to actually know that the information that I just gave them, bro, is valuable. And everything that I've been explaining to you on this call is getting you to shift your beliefs on a new way of why people aren't growing, getting high ticket clients, and why people are not buying from you. Do you get what I'm doing right now?
Yeah.
Do you see how I'm connecting everything together in this video and I'm doing it on you? Exactly what I'm teaching you right now. How many beliefs did I change in the way of thinking on this call, on selling, coaching, content, all that kind of stuff?
I mean, when it comes to value, that stuck out a lot to me, honestly.
Do you understand what true value is? True
Beliefs, shifting their beliefs.
is not making content, dude. Content is like, there's no context. Content with no context is nothing. It's like me just talking and spewing a bunch of crap right now. There's content out there that is not valuable at all, but it's entertaining, right? But if you look and disconnect from content, content is content. Dude, imagine if you just looked at your stuff as like art of like your own unique thought process, your thoughts, your decisions, your beliefs, your perception, and the way that you think about something, and you made videos on that.
Yeah, that I like that a lot. It kind of reminds me of like Dan Coe's how he goes out about content.
Yeah. That's what Dan Coe's doing to you. That's what I'm doing to you. That he is literally a perfect example of getting you on his perception, bro. Okay. That is what real value is. That's the way that you should look at everything that you're doing with what we're doing here. And then like I'm giving you value in this training and getting you, and I'm shifting all your beliefs that we went over. Okay. And what am I getting you to believe? My mechanism. What is the mechanism? Okay. My mechanism is my belief shifting funnel. Okay. And it's my new, unique way. Is that making sense?
But your new unique way is a way that's been here for a while, but your perspective on that thing.
So the way that I teach my new unique. Okay, so for people to be able to buy from you, they have to do something they've never tried before. That's what a new unique way is. I could literally come up with, I could do fasting, keto, and tracking macros and call it something different, and no one ever has heard from it because of the way that I'm presenting it.
Gotcha.
Psychology, there's nothing new that I'm teaching here. I'm teaching it in a way that you've never done before because you don't know the principles that I'm teaching, but I'm also teaching it to you in a way that I'm going to be able to, one, help you with YouTube, personal branding, my actual new unique way, the funneling, so you can work less, have higher profit, charge more money, have more MMR, and have a business model where you're actually making more money so you can have higher profit, work less, make more sustainable money. That's my new mechanism. That's what a mechanism is. It's a new, unique way that other people haven't done or used before. And you're literally changing them to think about. A lot of people think when they're growing their business, they bought from the guru, spent $10,000, and then the guru told them to get flashy cars, post organic content, show up and post as many stories as possible, and charge $3,000. That's the old way, bro. It doesn't work anymore. Everyone's doing that. You gotta do this way, bro. This is what everyone's not doing. And that's why everyone who's doing those same tactics, they're still struggling to make sales and make business and spend $10,000, but they can barely get clients to pay for them because every client and customer has seen that way over and over and over again, and people are not responsive to it anymore. And customer psychology has changed to where people don't buy off that because when you see it, you get desensitized, right? Like, let's just say, like someone had a very bad addiction to X-rated websites and everything like that. And they did it like the first couple of times you did it and everything like that. That's cool. And then they do it over and over and over again. They get desensitized and they have to view more weird stuff. And then they're trying to like, you know, get a physical relationship with a woman, or they probably can't even do it. And then they are desensitized from everything and it's bad. Right? Do you get what I'm saying? When someone does
100%.
something, or a market or a consensus over and over again, sees that over and over again, people stop responding to it. Just like we went through like the last 5 years of the fake guru flexing 8 cars, 10 exotic cars, all that kind of stuff, sell as many people as possible, scam people, all that kind of stuff. That's how people think coaches are. That's why people don't buy from a lot of coaches that do that, or a lot of coaches are running off that. But dude, eventually that tactic is not going to work anymore. Does that make sense?
No, big time.
That's the way that people, I'm teaching a totally different way because that's what the market needs. Because I sure as hell don't buy from those people because I know what they're doing. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I'm just kind of thinking in real time, like with the whole Ashton Hall shit that's happened. Like,
exactly, dude. Exactly. Ashton Hall, Wes Watson, all those guys.
Yeah.
Freaking Vincent Fisher, whatever. Not to put any like hate or anything like that, like, you know, on those guys. You know, I don't know them personally and everything like that, or their business and everything. But like typically things have been spread out and everything like that, and there's some proof, right? That way of marketing attracts a lot of people, and the products are not that good. And then a lot of people, they get categorized as a scammer. And then what happens eventually? You get flack. People make videos about you. People troll you. And then guess what? You're not going to be around in the next 3 to 5 years.
But even like looking at his page, if you post like Ashton, you're gonna present yourself as a scammer to people that's never bought into a coach that's heard about, you know, Ashton scamming or whatever it might be.
Exactly. And you could search up YouTube and there's like 10, 20, 30 videos on it. Same with Wes Watson, all like to. Again, not throwing shade. I'm just giving an example. Okay.
Sure.
So that's you have a consensus about that. Do you get what I'm saying? So guess what, bro? If those guys marketed you or hit you up in the DMs and everything like that, what would you do?
Yeah, of course not.
You wouldn't buy from them. Yeah. Exactly. And then you would be like, oh, dude, why would I buy from this? Because this is the new mechanism and the new way that people are not teaching, but it also makes more sense because, bro, people are not going to buy. People become more sophisticated as time and markets evolve. Do you get what I'm saying? So the way that people bought 2 years ago or even last year, they're not buying like that anymore because of all the things that happen. So if all these business gurus and coaches sell these tactics and everything, and 100,000 people do them, what does that do to the market? How many people start buying from those people? And then what happens? It gets desensitized and you have to shift. And buyers don't buy a buyer. If you go to a car dealership and you buy from a used car salesman and he freaking sells you a lemon, you get scammed, you get turned over on a car, you lose value, and you buy something that you didn't want to buy and you can't get out. Are you going to have an idea and a consensus now moving forward about dealership and car salesmen?
Oh, for sure.
Exactly, dude. You want to change. Same thing with the coaching, the same thing with your marketing, the same thing with your buyer psychology. Dude, you want to change that so people see, dude, this guy's freaking different, bro. That's what we're trying to do. Okay. And then by doing this process in our marketing and our branding and the value that we're providing in our YouTube videos, in our content and all that kind of stuff, and selling and getting people to believe our new way of doing things. Okay. All we have to do is connect that with call to actions, micro call to actions in our content. Okay. And it's the way that we're coming across. Okay. So you've probably watched people's videos and you probably watch people, and how are they trying to sell you to get them to work with them?
How are they trying to sell me?
Yeah, the way that they're selling. They're trying to hard sell you, dude.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
They're trying to push you over. Like, do you want to get rich? Do you want to have wealth? Do you want to buy the cars and the Rolls Royce and travel wherever you want and everything like that? Do you want to make 10 to 20 grand a month and have all this kind of stuff and go and take your girl wherever you want to eat and everything like that? Then you need to click my thing and you need to buy my program and all that kind of stuff, right? Right?
You
Yeah,
sound like V-Shot, bro.
Is that spot on?
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
Okay. Watch every single, you probably follow the business gurus and you probably people hard sell people to buy them their stuff. Right? You get on a call, you do that, and you need to buy this shit right now. Fear this. You're broke. Like the typical, you know who, like living in Miami, like, you're never going to be successful if you don't do this. You need to purchase my $7,500 thing because I know what I'm doing and you don't know shit. Right? What is that? Hard selling, dude. Now, what if you came instead of a place from like hard selling people? What if your call to action, bro, wasn't just like fear based? We're using fear, of course, pain and fear. We have to. But the way that we're selling people is not in scarcity. What if you came away in your call to actions? You were like, dude, I would love to be able to help you. I would love to be able to provide value. And actually like show you how to fix these problems and show you how to get to the outcomes that you want. And because I 100% believe that I can change your life. I can give you value. I can help you get to where you want to be and everything like that. And I know that I can provide this solution for this result and get you out of this pain and everything like that. Okay. So whenever you're ready, I'm here to be able to help you. I'm here to be able to help you get to where you want to be. I don't, if you don't buy anything from this video, or if you don't take a call to action, I don't care. All I need you to be able to do is get value. And all I want from you in this video of why I'm pouring my life into this video to change your guys' views and to post this on YouTube and give to people value. My whole thing is, dude, I just want to provide so much value and so much reciprocity, dude, that you want to end up working with me because of how many results and how much value I've provided you. So if that takes one video, that takes 2 videos, or that takes 200 videos, all I want you to do is get as much value from my stuff as possible so I can change your life. What if you came? I'm not saying a call to action, guys, like, hey, apply down below, all that kind of stuff. That is a call to action. But the way and the frame that we're coming to deliver that call to action needs to be abundant and not scarce.
Right.
Buy my program, 10 spots left. Watch my webinar, 75% off. That's scarce. And urgency and scarcity works. I'm not saying like that stuff, you don't do that stuff, but the way that your energy, I'm talking about a principle, the energy that you're coming off, bro. The energy of it should feel, you should attract people to flow, to like want to work with you because they trust you and the value that you actually provide. They're like, dude, I need to work with this guy. That's the call to action and the value that we're trying to be able to give to. I'm trying to get people to get a feeling and not just a surface level action. Is that making sense?
Right.
Because when I shift your beliefs and shift your feelings towards me and towards the process and towards the value that I give, how do you feel?
You feel good. No buyer's remorse.
And I don't have to sell you, bro. You're already sold. So if you did that in your content, in your long form content, dude, do you think if we shifted people's beliefs in 30 videos that you post on your YouTube, do you think the people that either schedule a call or apply for your program, do you think they would buy from you?
Yeah.
100%.
Because what did the 30 videos do?
Soften them
value.
up. They're already bought.
Dude, it's because what did you do? You shifted all these beliefs, dude. These are all beliefs. Belief about the pain, the belief about the desire, the belief about the value and who you are, the way that you do things to get someone to do what? Buy from you. But if you posted one piece of content and then you DM people and then you book them on a call and then you try to sell, it can work, but you're going to have negative money. You're just going to waste time. Okay? What if you got the people from your short form content into the DM to have a conversation, push them to your YouTube channel, they watched 1 to 10 videos, and then they either book with you in your DM or they watch your video before they get on a call, and then they follow you on YouTube, and then they eventually do their own call to action and hit you, and then they come buy from you. How much easier would it be? Which one of these people would be easier to sell to?
Definitely the one that's, listen and watch your videos.
Exactly, dude. That's why this funnel is the secret. You need to get this down, and then you need to push everyone to this funnel because it's going to warm up this faster. Okay. Now, let's go over the value equation and then let's wrap it up. Okay. So, this is the value equation. Okay. Value is the speed and the time frame plus effort, the minimal effort, minus risk equals current situation to their desired situation. Okay. So, what that means is how fast can people get to there from their current situation to their desired result in the least effort and sacrifice with the least minimal risk of not getting the result and paying the money from getting out of their current situation to their desired situation. Did that make sense to you? The way that I said it?
I'd say it again.
Okay. To be able to give value, to get people to buy from you and do everything that we did right here, how fast can they get to their result that they want from the current situation that they're stuck with the least minimal effort and sacrifice with no risk to get to their desired result?
Mm-hmm.
That's what gets people to buy from you. If I was like, bro, not bro, but if you, let me give you an example. If you do this for 30 days, you're going to lose 30 pounds only going to the gym 3 hours per week without having to track macros or do cardio. Okay. Guaranteed. or your money back. Or I'll work with you until you do, because I have 300 case studies. Is that making sense?
Yeah.
I'm just using this example of what this means. That's valuable. Okay. So the value that you're providing, the equation, this all has to do everything right here. Your mechanism, the time, the current situation, the desired situation, and the speed. It all has to effort this in your marketing process. This is, dude, this is what you're selling, bro. In your marketing process right here. This is the belief that you're selling right here, dude. This is why people buy. Is that making sense?
Yeah.
You're reiterating this over and over again in your content by giving value on these pains and the results that the people want, selling your way to be able to do this, to get them to believe that this is the best way to be able to do it. In your value in your videos, you're getting them, you're teaching them how to get the results and getting them out of the pain that they're in. That's what the only reason why they're watching that video. And you're selling yourself and giving value of who you are, what you do, all that kind of stuff. But you're reiterating your new mechanism and getting them to believe that this is the best way to be able to do it over and over and over and over and over again in every single video. Is that making sense? And then what you do by doing that, this is the principle. They watch video after video after video. They start changing their beliefs, right? It creates reciprocity. And then the more reciprocity with the people that watch your videos equals what? Money. And then what does that equal? Customers. And then what does that equal? Sales. That's the principle. This is the principle that we're trying to apply. This is what we're trying to do with our customers to be able to get them to buy in the most simple way possible. Is that making sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Then once you do that right, all this stuff starts to work, because we do have to track the followers. We have to have the strategy. We have to have the messages. We have to book the calls. We have to get the sales. We have to track those numbers. But without this in your marketing process, in your ads, your content, your YouTube, and the psychology behind it, this will never work, dude. That's what I've related in this entire video. Most people only teach this without even giving you the value of what I just taught you today. How is your mindset different between how you look at your business and what you're actually doing as a whole? Dude, you think you're just selling something and people are buying coaching. This is what you're actually doing. Does that, are you believing that? Do you understand what that is?
Yeah. I mean, it goes back to kind of when you first start talking about values, like you're not just pitching information.
Dude, like the surface level that you're on is like getting people to buy your coaching.
Right.
That's surface level. Your coaching is actually this. This is actually what coaching is, bro. And then the people that buy from you, this is why they're actually buying from you. If your coaching doesn't do this in your marketing and your sales process, they're not going to get a response of they're not going to buy your coaching, bro. So if you want to get people to buy from you, you have to get them to feel this way so they can exchange their money with you. Because they're not exchanging the money with the coaching. They're exchanging the money with the coach because you've done this for them, dude. This is what the value actually is. Is that like blowing up your brand?
So it's like you're essentially a salesman, but then you provide a service on the back end, which
No,
is coaching.
you're not a salesman at all. Sales, bro. Sales, this is not sales. This is literally customer psychology. You have something to sell and they have something they're buying. That's surface level still. But why do people buy things, bro? And why do people sell things? Like, why would someone buy your stuff that I went over?
Because they believe that it'll get them the end result.
Yes, that's part of it. But people do not buy your stuff until they believe that it does all of this for them.
Mm-hmm.
And people do not buy the end of your stuff until you do what?
Those things.
Value. Go deeper, dude. If you give the real value that you're doing right here in this confirmation, hope, clarity, outdated, new, relevant product service, and then you sell people, bro, on you as a person, your mindset, beliefs, your mechanism, and who you are, dude, that's what people get value on, bro. This is everything that we have to do. We have to sell them on our mindset, our beliefs, our mechanism, and who we are. And then that's, guess what? They get value, dude. And then guess what? They like you, know you, and trust you. And they will only buy from you, dude. Because no one else has done this to them. Dude, like I said here, it's a freaking feeling, bro. Dude, it's a transference of energy, bro. Look at it deeper. Like, look at what you're doing here deeper. You are literally shifting people's beliefs, bro. This is what cults do. This is what religions do. This is like very, very psychological, like deep stuff, dude. If you can get people to feel a certain way about you and transfer that same belief, which is energy, they buy into you, bro. Is that making sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is going to be one of the best trainings I've ever made in my entire life, dude. I think. Because this is literally what's going to change the game. Like when I've changed my beliefs about coaching, and when I changed about, dude, this is what I've been doing all along. This is why I haven't been, this is what I've been missing in the years of my business. This is what actually is working. And this is what I literally need to do now to be able to go all in on this. This is the real thing of why people get to that next level and why people don't, dude. Like, bro, do you know what the definition of a follower is?
No, but I need more of them.
Dude. Dude, a follower is someone. If we just get around this, away from the social norm that like followers don't matter right now, because like so many people we've hyper inflated the amount, the real meaning of what a follower is. Like it's just someone that follows you on social media, right? But if you were like let's just say in like Christ's time and everything like that, or just like say any religion or any cult and all that kind of stuff, if you didn't have a social media thing and you had followers listening to you speaking or your religion or Jesus Christ and all that kind of stuff, bro, that's why people are called followers of Christ. Why? What does the Bible do, bro?
Gives you like principles on how to live.
It's all principles, dude. People, you know what the Bible is? The Bible was like God sent Jesus Christ to teach us, die for our sins. He died on the cross so we can have eternal life and save us from our sins and everything like that. Okay? End of the Bible. That's why he came here, right? Right? That's the principle. But why is there so many extra things in the Bible with all these books and different things and all these people teaching different things after Jesus died for our sins, when we had all that kind of stuff? What is it telling us?
The story.
The story of the belief system of how we should think, act, do, and principles that we should live our life on: money, finances, belief, marriage, forgiveness, everything. Why do we have the Bible? It's a belief system in a book that's what being a follower is. What if you took that same psychology and that philosophy to your brand, to your business, and like obviously not so esoteric and everything like that, but you literally tried to do this same psychologically thing that the Bible does? Do you think people would follow you and ride or die with you? Because you changed their belief system, bro. Is that making sense?
Yeah.
That's the point that I'm trying to get across, bro. Okay. Is there any other questions that you guys have about this?
I think I'm good.
Yeah, same.
Okay. What's the biggest takeaway from each one of you? If you're good, what's the biggest takeaway that you've got from this training today?
I mean, I said it a few times, but just the concept of how you're delivering the actual value, because that's actually a thought I've had many times. It's not the thing that people need. It's just the understanding, and part of the understanding is their beliefs too. And I also had the thought of like people don't struggle with information, especially now with AI, but the implementation of it is their problem.
Yeah, dude. The number one thing, bro, it all comes down to us. It's how we are literally, it's literally how we're posturing our branding, our messaging, our coaching, who we are as people. We need to shift ourselves in a way that postures this. That postures us as an authority, but also gets people to buy into us as people, and then buys into our beliefs, and then buys into our way of thinking, and buys into our new mechanism and the way that we get results. And then they will become a follower, a customer, and a buyer in that order. And that's what I'm trying to show you guys. It's literally shifting to be able to get this response from people. And once you do that, this happens. The trust and all that kind of stuff. Make sense?
Yeah.
What about you? What about you, Augustine?
I mean, along the same lines. I mean, it's pretty much what you talked about. Yeah, it's just changing people's belief systems by getting them to believe in yours, essentially, which makes sense. And to touch on the whole facts thing, I mean, yeah, because I'm just thinking in my head the whole time, the whole call is like, well, if macros are macros and cardio is cardio and people aren't buying that shit anymore, then what the fuck are they going to buy? You know what I mean? So, I guess just, yeah, just getting them to believe in you, what you have to offer, and also getting creative with that offer and making it seem like it's something different, right?
Yeah, exactly. People, it's macros, bro, and calories and cardio is always the effect. Like they're gonna have to do that shit, right? But what I'm trying to get you to realize, bro, is people don't buy that, they buy you first. Like that's the whole premise of the thing. It's like if people have done macros and calories before and they know that shit is not you, they're gonna be like, dude, I've tried that before, it didn't work. So you're shit out of luck, bro. Like,
Yeah.
But if they and they're never even gonna think about buying that. They're never gonna think about buying that because they never even thought about buying from you first, bro. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, put yourself in your customer's shoe. Okay? Like, if people aren't hitting you up right now, or if there's not enough people hitting you up, or just in general, right? No one's thinking about us. No one's thinking about buying from us.
Yeah.
So no one's thinking about fucking what we have to offer. So what is the first thing that we have to start getting people to think about?
Yeah. Gotta get out there.
So we have to sell ourselves in a certain way that commands that for us to get them to where they're getting value from us so they can think the way that we're thinking and do the way that we're doing to get the results that we're getting. So we have to fix all these problems first, bro. Because it's like no one's gonna listen to a fat trainer, bro.
Yeah. No,
So
100%.
like the guy's gonna talk and they're gonna be like, bro, dude, why the fuck did you come on my feed? You're fat, and why do you think you're a trainer? I'm gonna click off. Like, I'm not gonna follow you. I'm not gonna listen to you. I'm not gonna do that. And even if they like, let's just say, oh, you're shredded, you're jacked, and all that kind of stuff. Let's flip it on its head. Like, dude, there's so many shredded jack guys that have followers out there, but they make no money. They have no coaching business, and they don't even have a business, and no one's gonna buy a $5,000 program from them. Why? Because, bro, they are only valuable for that first little thing of looking at someone. But the perceived value that they give and that they offer is very low. So therefore, people are going to follow them, and they're never going to get to this point where they get a lot of customers and a lot of sales and people to trust them. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you actually have to fix the psychological process of each one of these things to command people to listen to you and then buy into you and then buy into the value that you offer and then start believing the way that you're thinking because the way that you're providing your thoughts, your habit, your perception, your who you are as a person. And then they're like, dude, I'm going to listen to this guy. And then I'm going to watch his videos, and then I'm going to watch this, and then I'm going to start getting trained into his new way of thinking, his believing, his mechanism, whatever he's teaching me. That obviously, because he has the results, he has the body, he has the business, he's doing this thing. So I'm going to start shifting. And then the more that they watch the video, like hopefully I shift your guys' beliefs in this hour call. Right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to agree with me. Like, you could say, no, I don't believe this. That's totally all right. But if you're going to be 100% truthful, has this call, and I don't care if you say yes or no, has this call shifted your perception and your belief of what you were thinking about business and coaching and buyers and everything like that than the perception that you had previously?
Yeah, definitely. It's
I would say it
yeah.
definitely refocus mine for sure. Because
Yeah.
this is something like I know at an intuitive level, but it's easy to slip away from doing these things.
Okay,
Yeah,
awesome.
exactly. Yeah, new perspective. Exactly.
Okay, so what did I provide on this call, bro?
Right.
So guess what? If I send this recording out and I give it as a lead magnet and I post it on my YouTube channel, what is the default? If you guys got that, let's just say, just take your step back from a 10,000 foot view. If I was able to do this with 2 people on an hour call and you watch this, what's the same psychological response that's going to happen to another person?
The same
Like
thing.
clear the same.
It's going to do the exact same thing, bro. And let's just say, let's be very surface level and truthful. What am I trying to get them to do? Help them become clients, make money, and change their lives, right? By giving value, right? And obviously, we're all here to be able to do that because that's why what we're doing. Like, I'm here to help people and everything like that. But what did I just teach you, bro? That I just did to you on this entire call? What did we just do? Everything. I just took you through all this. What did I just do to you? And then guess what? I mean, you guys are already my clients and everything, right? But dude, if you were a brand new person and I taught you how to do this and I'm teaching you how to do this right now, and you made videos like this, do you think you would get the same response of getting this?
Yeah.
Right? This is the secret, bro. This is why it works. I literally just did this to you on our call right here of everything that I just walked you through. And I'm going to reiterate this. If you do this in every single one of your videos, like I'm doing right now, and get people to YouTube, and you have 30 videos working for you, I guarantee you your life, your business, and people, the way people are buying from you. And if you use your content on Instagram to drive traffic and post and talk and dial this in, which I'm going to help you guys dial this in. If we just dial in our mechanism, our value, give more, and talk to our clients' pains and desires and get them to actually get real value and give as much in-depth value as possible and sell them on the beliefs that we have on this right here, you're going to create this, bro. It's the compounding effect. That's it. So I digress, bro, because the psychological response obviously works. And I just literally used the proof of concept on you guys. And that's why I made this training. I've been focusing on this and I'm implementing this all into my process, my branding, my offer, and all that kind of stuff. So you guys are going to see that. I'm going to let you guys know, but I also want you guys to be able to do the exact same thing that I'm doing because this is the shift, bro. This is the missing shift. And that's why I'm having you guys do YouTube, do content, make your offer, make your VSL, do all those things in this way because we're just trying to get to the same feeling that you guys feel right now. Understood?
Understood.
Any questions? Clarity?
That's clear.
Okay. Awesome. So, does anyone need support with anything?
No support. Just let me know when we can get an editor.
Yes. For the for your video?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I really want you to try to do this 1 time per week.
And that's for the long form content.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you market that on your stories, you market that in your content that you're making, and you get people to those videos, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And then you provide these videos in the DMs. That's all you're trying to do. You post the content that you're talking to your ideal client on your page for your offer, for your ideal client, everything like that. You make the short form content on the pains, the value, all that kind of stuff. And then you talk about those subjects that you made the YouTube videos on. and you drive that traffic into the DMs to get them into your YouTube so they can follow you, watch that video, and then your YouTube pushes and builds trust to people to book calls, come to the DMs, all that kind of stuff, warmed and ready to buy from you. Make sense?
Yeah.
All right. It was a pleasure today, gents.
Likewise.
Hope that gave you I hope
Boy,
that I hope that gave you guys value.
Yeah, no, definitely did.
That's clear on the value part of it, and then two, like kind of what you're saying, how to make the long form content, and then push it to stories that makes it a little easier too to think of what I need to post throughout the week.
That's the strategy.
Right.
The principle is what actually works.
Right.
If we got the principle down of why we're doing it, we know how to do it now.
Mm-hmm.
The tactic is like getting people to watch the video, marketing in our stories, making content around it, providing it to people in the DMs. That's the strategy and the tactic. The principle is the psychological thing that we're trying to do of why we're actually pushing people to YouTube, why we're getting them to view the content, why we're getting them to watch the videos, and what we're trying to do with their belief system to get them to buy from us. Because short form content can't do that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
So, dude, when people watch these videos over and over again, and if people watch like 30 of your videos eventually and they spend those hours with you, your customers will, it's like you're digging for gold. They will like become gold.
Right.
And that's the whole goal. But it just takes some time to post those videos and nurture that audience. But dude, we're doing things on our business in this quarter to reap from them in the next quarter and the next quarter and the next quarter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what I want you to think about it. Because like I'm not reaping any benefits right now from posting on YouTube this early, but me driving all the traffic from ads that I'm going to do, all the people in the school group, all that kind of stuff, dude, that's going to start compounding. It's like compounding interest. That's what I need you to think about it. So the things that we do in this quarter and in the next quarter, we're not going to benefit right now. And we are going to get some benefits, but dude, it's going to compound in effect. A 1% turns into a 2%, and a 2% is going to turn into a 4%, and a 4% is going to turn 8%, and 8% is going to turn 16%. You get what I'm saying?
Right. Compound.
It compounds. It's not like a 1 and a 1 and a 1. It's a 1 and then a 2, and then a 2 to a 4, and then a 4 to an 8, and then an 8 to a 12, and then a 12 to a 16, and then a 16 to what? It compounds up. So if you did 10 videos, 20 videos, 30 videos, 40 videos, 50 videos, and you kept on doing it, how much of that audience and those people and those things will compound over time to bring you a customer consistently over time without you having to do anything? If you just keep on having the system go.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thought process. Let's implement it and let's start compounding the effect.
Let's get it.
All right, guys, much love. Let me know if you need anything. I'll see you soon.
Word.
All right, brother.
Later, guys.
Peace.
Peace.